Hey guys, Justin here with, I guess this is my first official installment of my foray into the web development world. I want to try and document my journey for myself, but also maybe leave uh, breadcrumbs for people that might find this useful, for others who have no experience whatsoever in this stuff, very similar to myself. I guess up until a few weeks ago, I had no experience with a Mac except for like playing Oregon Trail in elementary school. No experience with Bash, Node.js, or Sails. I literally bought a Mac less than 3 weeks ago, which was my first Apple product ever. And so I guess you might call these videos Complete Idiot's Guide to Web Development, or something similar along those lines that haven't been trademarked yet. I guess the most experience I've had with building a website was using WordPress to build a real estate website I built out for a brokerage I have. But there are problems with WordPress, which I want to build around. If you want your website or your app to do something, especially something that no one has really done before, WordPress is likely going to leave you wanting, as it has for me at least. I was lucky enough to have a few friends that are in this world and have pointed me into the direction of Node.js and sails.js. After doing some more digging, I found numerous groups, articles, events, people, you name it, that all point to Node being the future of development, back-end development specifically. And I guess we can talk about it later. Or you can look it up, back-end development. And yeah, and sales right along there with it. There are a lot of people and things, a lot of people and things that were also pointing to Ruby on Rails, which has been around for a while now. But from what I've gathered, there are limitations with Rails that Node and Sails pretty much solve. Mainly, Rails doesn't scale, meaning if you built something in Rails and it actually caught on, people began using it, it wouldn't take very long until you'll have to rebuild it completely from scratch, and that's going to get really expensive. Sails, you're not going to have to do that. Sails brings a lot of the same simplicity and structures. In fact, I think it was actually modeled after Ruby on Rails intentionally. But it's now totally scalable because it sits on top of Node.js. And I mean, we don't even have to get started on Node. Node is supposed to be a game changer from what I've picked up. And yeah, I mean, you guys could do your own research on that and make your own decision. The point is, I will be learning to use Node.js and Sails.js. So, what I'm hoping to share here is my exploration into these worlds. I mean, everything from HTML, like I barely know any HTML or CSS, JavaScript, Bash, Node, Sails, and everything in between. My goal isn't necessarily to explain every piece to their fullest extent, but rather figure out how they fit together with each other and how we can create things with them. So I'll try my best to point to these concepts, things, or websites that I found useful, necessary, and you guys can do the research from there and pick it up. So now that we got that out of the air, let's get started.